Since early this morning, we've been having some pretty crazy rainstorms off and on. So I'm gonna get out here and shoot some really quick video, hopefully, and then be out of the weather. So these are mostly notes for myself, where I have these logs drying out. They're soaked in rain right now, but there's a swell right here that is not at its max capacity. So during the winter season, I think I want to build this up, do a lot of work here, because there's a lot of missed opportunity with holding water. If you can see, there is some standing water in there right now, but nowhere near what it could be. And then we have our fire pit where we make biochar. This is the lower swell, and there is almost no water coming into here and soaking in, mainly because the catchment area is limited to this, and this gets filled up by runoff. So I don't know if, yeah, so I've been adding some new dirt. This deeper spot, I'm happy about that, but the new dirt I added is kind of sending the flow off that way, which is where I want it to end up once this gets full. But this new earthworks that I've been doing is kind of preventing that sheet overflow of water coming into the swale. So I'm going to get out here with a shovel and do a little bit of work while the water is telling me where it wants to go. And even further down into the property, at the lower portion, I mean, there's another opportunity where water's pooling up. I could do something here. A lot of trees, so I don't want to dig. I want to build the ground up, maybe put a berm here and have some extra water holding capacity, because right here is where that ditch flows off the property and into the water. So another opportunity, have a lot of plantings right here, and they'll be less drought prone if I can start soaking water in there, and all these trees will help prevent the evaporation. So we're standing in the driveway, and this is getting cut out. You can see that sharp line. I'll need to do something to shore that up and prevent erosion. And then also I had to pile a little bit of dirt there and move it from this space, because it keeps creeping further up this vehicle parking pad. And also it's kind of taking the vegetation out there. So not sure what I want to do. I think Brad Lancaster's book is going to help me out in making some positive decisions about how I'm going to prevent the erosion, but still allow that water to go down there where I want to plant that out with fruit trees. This is where the driveway enters the property. We have some plantings on the fence line. That's where a lot of my blueberries are that I show in my videos. And this culvert has been uncovered by the rain, but right here, this whole ditch fills up, and then there's overflow right there, and that's where it joins back up with the ditch. But you can see there was a deposition of some gravel and some sand. I'll be able to use that somewhere. I'll clear that out. And then also something I'm interested about reading Brad's book kind of quickly is this section will benefit from some of his knowledge. Do I need to put rocks there? I don't know. I'm going to read and then update this portion, and then let everyone know what was a success. So naturally there was another rainstorm come through, so I had to go inside, but I'll flip the camera around and show you what I was working on. So the portion here, just to give you a reference, there's the fence line, blueberry bushes, sorry. The water is only in a pretty small portion, and this berm is not very tall. The ground's really rocky, so I can't dig a whole lot. But I think what's going to end up happening is this is developing into more of a terrace instead of a swale, which is okay. A couple of fig trees down there, they're benefiting from the rain. But I think I will start transitioning this into more of a terrace, but it's getting into like zone 4. It's further from the house. This is not something that I'm actively building the infrastructure right now. There's other higher priorities closer to the house. In an earlier video that I'll link below, I tried to make a speed hump in the road or in the driveway and have the water that was coming down to divert into this spillway ditch. It wasn't naturally wanting to do that, so it was just eroding and cutting down the speed hump, and then I cut that down, but I still left it slightly running toward there. And then in front of this blueberry bush, I dug a tiny pocket pond, and it's working really, really well. It's holding water, not too long. It's not in there for days and days, but my hope is once I get this vegetated even more, it'll prevent the evaporation and allow it to slowly soak in. Then once I have that water planted, I can start really developing this with some higher value plants, because this is a very dry, ridge-like portion of the property.